Imagine an electric car that never needs a charging station. No cables, no plugs, no downtime. Sounds impossible, right? Well, Africa has just stunned the entire world and even left Elon Musk speechless. A self-charging electric vehicle has reportedly traveled over 10,000 miles without stopping for a single recharge. If true, this could completely rewrite the future of transportation and disrupt the global EV industry. But what makes this car so special? And why is the world's biggest innovator in EVs, Elon Musk, suddenly paying attention to Africa's breakthrough? Let's dive in. The claim is bold: a self-powered electric vehicle, designed and tested in Africa, has successfully completed a 10,000-mile endurance run without ever plugging into a charger. This isn't just a small step forward, it's a giant leap that challenges the very foundation of how we think about clean mobility. While EV giants in the West and Asia are racing to build bigger batteries and faster charging stations, Africa may have just skipped the line altogether. So, how can a car run continuously without charging? Reports suggest that the vehicle integrates advanced self-charging technology, possibly harvesting energy through a combination of kinetic motion, solar integration, and electromagnetic energy conversion. In simpler terms, instead of searching for the next charging port, the car generates its own power as it moves. If verified, this would mean endless driving potential, limited only by mechanical wear and tear, not by a battery running out. Now, you might wonder, why is Elon Musk, the man behind Tesla, so fascinated by this? Because Tesla, like every other EV maker, is still bound by the laws of charging. Even the most advanced supercharger takes minutes to hours. But if Africa's technology truly eliminates the need for charging, it could make Tesla's massive global charging network obsolete overnight. For Musk, who prides himself on being at the cutting edge, this is both a shock and a challenge. For decades, Africa has been underestimated in high-tech industries. Yet, innovators across the continent are rewriting that narrative. From self-charging vehicles to renewable energy systems, Africa is positioning itself as not just a participant but a leader in the green revolution. This development isn't just about cars, it's about energy independence, economic empowerment, and breaking free from reliance on foreign technology. If self-charging EVs become reality, the consequences are massive. No more charging stations cluttering cities. No more range anxiety for drivers. Cheaper transportation since electricity costs drop to zero. And perhaps most importantly, a carbon-neutral solution that could accelerate the end of fossil fuels. It's not just a new car, it's a potential new era. So, what do you think? Is Africa's self-charging EV the ultimate breakthrough that could dethrone even Tesla? Or is it a bold claim waiting to be tested on the world stage? One thing is clear: innovation is no longer confined to Silicon Valley, China, or Europe. The next revolution in clean technology might just come from Africa. Of course, with such a bold claim, the world is asking tough questions. How exactly was this 10,000-mile test verified? Who conducted it? And can the technology scale from a prototype to mass production? Skeptics argue that without transparent data, it's hard to confirm whether the vehicle truly drove those miles without external charging. Others suggest that the breakthrough may be tied to cutting-edge physics and overlooked energy sources that mainstream science hasn't yet fully embraced. But one thing is certain: this announcement has already ignited global debate. Interestingly, while media outlets around the world rushed to cover the story, major automakers stayed quiet. No official statements from Tesla, Toyota, or Volkswagen. No denial, no acknowledgement, just silence. Why? Because if this technology proves real, the ripple effect would be catastrophic for their current business models. Billions invested in lithium battery plants, charging stations, and EV infrastructure could instantly become outdated. And for Elon Musk, a man who thrives on disruption, this may be one of the rare moments where he is the one being disrupted. Behind this project stands a name that is starting to echo across the tech world: Maxwell Chikumbutso. Known for pioneering self-charging energy devices, Maxwell has long claimed to possess technologies that defy conventional limitations. While dismissed by many, his work has gained loyal supporters and investors who believe Africa could deliver the next leap in clean tech. If Maxwell's innovations continue to withstand scrutiny, Africa's EV could be remembered as the car that changed everything. Some experts suggest the use of radio frequency energy conversion, tapping into ambient electromagnetic waves from the environment and converting them into usable power. Others point toward magnet-based generators that recycle motion energy at a level far beyond today's regenerative braking. There are even whispers of quantum energy applications, the kind of concepts that mainstream engineering often dismisses as impossible, until someone actually makes them work. If proven, these technologies wouldn't just power cars. They could power homes, cities, even entire nations, ending the dependence on centralized power grids. Now here's where it gets even more fascinating. Africa's innovators aren't playing by the same rulebook as Silicon Valley or China. While big automakers are trapped in billion-dollar investments tied to batteries and charging stations, Africa has the freedom to leapfrog straight into self-sustaining energy systems. It's the same phenomenon we saw with mobile phones. Many parts of Africa skipped landline infrastructure altogether and jumped straight to mobile networks, reshaping entire economies. Could the EV revolution follow the same path? And this brings us back to Elon Musk. For Musk, Tesla's global dominance isn't built on cars alone. It's built on an ecosystem: batteries, solar panels, and, most importantly, the vast supercharger network stretching across continents. But what happens if a car doesn't need charging stations at all? That entire infrastructure becomes irrelevant. Tesla's biggest advantage could vanish overnight. This isn't just competition. It's a potential paradigm shift, the kind of disruption that even Musk himself may not have fully prepared for. While Elon Musk remains unusually quiet, other corners of the world are stirring. In China, where EV manufacturing dominates the global market, whispers have already begun in state-backed media about monitoring Africa's breakthrough closely. Industry insiders worry that if the self-charging EV gains credibility, China's vast investments in lithium supply chains and battery megafactories could lose their strategic importance almost overnight. Meanwhile, in Europe, automakers like Volkswagen and Mercedes-Benz are watching with a mix of skepticism and fear. Their survival depends on steady growth in EV adoption, and they've invested billions in charging networks across the continent. A true self-charging car could leave all those plans stranded. And in the United States, government agencies and think tanks are quietly asking a new question: if Africa really holds the key to self-sustaining EV technology, does this shift the balance of global technological power? But it's not just car makers. The oil industry, already facing a slow decline, could be dealt its most devastating blow yet. A car that never refuels and never plugs in? That would mean the end of oil as a transportation necessity. Even the electricity grid business model comes into question. If vehicles can generate their own power, who needs utility companies to feed them? Imagine a future where households, cities, and vehicles are powered independently, a complete energy revolution. And here lies the most chilling part of the story. Whenever a disruptive technology emerges, one that threatens trillion-dollar industries, history shows us it rarely gets an easy path. Whispers of corporate pressure, government intervention, and attempts to suppress innovation are already circulating. Could Africa's self-charging EV face the same fate as other so-called free energy devices that were buried before they could reach the public? Or will this time be different, with global attention too strong to silence the breakthrough? Behind this groundbreaking EV stands a man whose name sparks equal parts admiration and controversy: Maxwell Chikumbutso. For years, Maxwell has claimed to develop technologies far ahead of their time, from self-powered generators to drones that never need refueling. Some engineers have dismissed him as a dreamer, while others call him a visionary working on the edge of what's scientifically possible. But his journey hasn't been smooth. Reports suggest Maxwell once faced pressure from powerful lobbies who saw his inventions as a threat. In fact, several of his projects mysteriously lost funding right as they neared commercial release. Critics say this is proof his ideas don't work. Supporters insist it's evidence of suppression by industries desperate to protect their profits. Now, with the self-charging EV breaking into headlines, Maxwell is back in the spotlight, and this time, the world is watching too closely to look away. This moment also raises a bold question: could Africa become the unexpected leader of the global EV industry? For decades, Africa has been treated as a consumer market rather than a hub of innovation. But what if the script is finally flipped? Imagine a future where global automakers come to Africa not just to source raw materials like cobalt and lithium, but to license technology they can't replicate themselves. It's not just about cars, it's about economic power, intellectual property, and the possibility of Africa setting the standard for the next era of clean energy. Yet, time is a critical factor. If Maxwell's technology is real, Africa must protect it, scale it, and commercialize it before outside forces step in. Because make no mistake, governments, corporations, and competitors around the globe are already calculating how to either control this innovation or neutralize it. The coming months could decide whether Africa's self-charging EV becomes a world-changing reality, or just another forgotten breakthrough buried under pressure. As the news of Africa's self-charging EV spreads, one thing becomes undeniable: the world is at a crossroads. If Maxwell Chikumbutso's creation continues to prove itself, the implications are staggering. No more range anxiety. No need for charging stations. No dependence on oil or electricity grids. Transportation as we know it could be turned upside down, and Africa could emerge as the unlikely epicenter of a technological revolution. For Elon Musk, this is a rare role reversal. The disruptor now finds himself disrupted, watching as a breakthrough from Africa challenges the very foundations of Tesla's empire. For global automakers, it is a wake-up call. For oil and energy giants, it is an existential threat. But for billions of people around the world, from crowded cities to remote villages, it is a spark of hope. A future where clean, affordable, and self-sustaining mobility isn't just a dream, but a reality. The road ahead won't be easy. There will be resistance, doubt, and attempts to suppress or control the innovation. But if history has taught us anything, it's that no force can stop an idea whose time has come. And this idea, a car that charges itself, born from African ingenuity, may just be the breakthrough that drives humanity into a new era. Z-Auto Tech, where innovation meets the road, the future of mobility starts here only on Z-Auto Tech. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating stories about Elon Musk, Maxwell, Tesla, and the future of innovation. Until next time, keep imagining the impossible.